Hey guys, in this video we're gonna talk about a concept that I got from the book called "Someday Is Today" by Matthew Dix. It's gonna be somewhere on the screen right now, and this book changed my whole perspective on productivity in general. And this idea, and it's actually gonna be related to the title of this video, of making use of minutes, especially, is something that changed my whole idea of what it meant to be productive and how I could be more productive with my time, how I could make a better use of my time to get more things done. Because that's the main thing about productivity, right? Just getting more things done in less time. So, first of all, before getting into it, I'm gonna assume that you watching this agree with me already that time is the most important thing and that time is king. And what it means that time is king is that it reigns over everything, over all of the other things that should matter in life. Time is at the top of this. So if you don't think this way, like, I think I'm gonna make a separate video about this in the future, but I'm actually, like, I promise you, man, I'm gonna make a video about that, but you can just click off, man, because this video is not for you. So let's get into it, man. Time is the most important thing. Time is that thing that you use to do anything that you want in life. And the reason why you want money in the first place is because you want time. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be trading 4 years at college in order to get a job that you don't like, because what you want is time, not just money. It's just that money buys you time. So the most important thing is time. How can you get more time? I think that that's a question that people often ask themselves, and you probably have been wondering, how can I get more time? How can I have more time in my life to do the things that I really want to do in my life? So let's say that you are working a 9 to 5 at the moment, because you don't have other option, and sometimes it is that way, man. Like, I'm not gonna blame you if that's your situation. I've been there myself, so there's nothing wrong about it. But often you see yourself and you think, like, I don't have enough time. You think, I really don't have time for the things I want to do. So let's say that you want to start a side hustle and you want to turn it into a business. Something like, I don't know, a social media marketing agency, something that a lot of people are doing right now. You want to start a drop shipping business. You want to start any of those online businesses, or even a YouTube channel like myself. And you've been thinking, like, oh man, like, I don't have time for this. Like, I really don't have time and shit like that. But you do have the time. And here's where this idea changed my whole perspective on this. You probably don't have the time to start this business and make it work in a year, because that would require you to a lot of time from you. It would require a lot of time for you, basically. It would require you to be maybe living at home with your parents without any other responsibility, directing all of your efforts towards this goal of creating a successful social media marketing agency. It might be possible if you are with your parents and all that kind of stuff, but sometimes you just gotta work, man. Sometimes you don't have those parents that are gonna support you and that are gonna buy everything for you, including food. So you have limited time, but you have time. And here's where this idea changes everything. You have been thinking all of your life about time and about having time to do something as having an entire day to do something, or maybe having a couple hours a day to do that thing. But here is this revolutionary idea, in my opinion. You have minutes. Time is not only having an entire day to do something. Time is not having 3 hours to fully focus on this thing that you really gotta do, man. Time is everything that involves time, obviously. And one thing and one part of the equation that is time is our minutes. Minutes are time, man. And you haven't, if you're anything like me, and if you're anything like me in the past and before reading this book called Someday Is Today, I recommend this book to anyone and to everyone always. You probably haven't been making use of minutes. So you probably are wondering now, like, oh, and what do you mean by making use of minutes? How can I make use of what can I even do in 10 minutes? And I'm not gonna give you an example on how you can start making use of minutes. So let's say that you want to start a social media marketing agency, right? And you have been working. You have to work a 9 to 5 in order to just live, right? You have to work a 9 to 5. You work at whatever, man. It doesn't matter what you work at, and you spend a lot of time at work. Let's say that you spend 8 hours, and you also have to commute. So you have 1 hour going there and then 1 hour going back home. So you have 10 hours where you virtually can't do anything. You don't have time to spend on your social media marketing agency business. You also want to go to the gym, so that's going to take you somewhere around 1 hour and 30 minutes if you count commute time as well. So let's say that it's 2 hours. You have 12 hours there. So you also have to cook, and that's 1 more hour. You got 13 hours out of the 16 hours you have every day if you're sleeping well, which should be a priority, but that's for a video in the future. So I'm going to assume that you are prioritizing sleep and that you are awake 16 hours every day, no more than that. So there you got 13 hours because you got to do a lot of shit throughout the day. I understand that. Like, I've been there myself. I lived for 2 years by myself, alone with roommates and all that kind of stuff. And I was working out every day. I had to cook every day, and I had to do a lot of stuff, man. Just all of the responsibilities that come with living by yourself, man. You have a lot. So you have 13 hours there. Now, what else do you have to do? Well, you have to, I don't know, man, go to bed. And you probably spend a little bit on Instagram or whatever if you still use that. I don't use that anymore. And there you go. Like, you have spent 14 hours a day. And there were no wasted hours. You were just doing what you had to. And now that you have this 1 extra hour that you have before bed, you're really tired and you really don't want to advance in this social media marketing agency business. So now is where this revolutionary idea of making use of minutes comes in. So you've been thinking all of this time that you needed all of this big chunk of time in order to do anything, and that you were unlucky because you don't have much time and all that kind of stuff. And that used to be me, man. Like, I used to think that way. Oh, why is everything happening to me and all that kind of shit. But then I came into this idea. I came across this idea. And what you're going to start doing is that you're going to start running across small chunks of time. They're just small. They're small windows of time. You only have like 15 minutes sometimes, 10 minutes, but they're time. And you can do something with that time you have. So let's say that you have that your break at work. What you're going to do, and what I used to do back then when I was working, like 2 months ago, for example, is that I would eat really quick. Like, I know that you shouldn't, but I was doing that. I was prioritizing in my YouTube channel in this case, and I was just eating quick. And then I would spend the whole extra 20 minutes that I had left of my 30-minute lunch into writing scripts. And you might think like, oh, what's the value of that and that kind of shit. And that's something for a video in the future. But writing scripts is really good. Like, it helps you to organize all of your ideas and to develop really complex ideas and then internalize them, and that way you can just talk about them. That's why it's good to write scripts, not to follow them like 100%, and then if you fail, you're fucked. No, it's not about that. A script is not about that. A script is about organizing your thoughts on a concept. For example, this video right now, I didn't make a script for this video, but I actually think I did, but way in the past. So I kind of have internalized all the things that I'm telling you right now, which is the reason why it is not that hard for me to talk about this. And even if English is not my second language in the first place, because it should be hard for me to speak about this, and it's not. Well, not extremely hard at least. So there you go. Like, you use your break, the time you have, the free time that you have in your break, to do something that is related to that goal you have. In your case, if you are trying to start a social media marketing agency business, what you could be doing is, for example, doing prospecting during that time. So you're going to be looking for prospects and sending emails and all that kind of stuff. 20 minutes. And then if you do that 20 minutes 5 days a week, that's gonna compound obviously. And then you're gonna have sorry, my math sucks. You're gonna have 100 minutes dedicated to your business throughout the week. And then now you keep adding things. You keep like recognizing all of those little chunks of time that you can use and direct towards your business. So for example, let's say that you're gonna go to the gym with your roommate, with a friend, and you're waiting for him to get ready, because he takes time. Just people, like average people, they take time for everything, man. They spend like 30 minutes taking a shower and that kind of stuff, and you're waiting for him. And those 20 minutes that you're gonna be waiting for your friend, you can work on your business too. I know it sounds obsessive, man. Like every single free minute that you have, you're gonna spend it on something that is productive and related to your business and all that kind of shit. But what other option do you have? It's either that or be average, man, and be like everyone else and not advancing at anything at all. So you're gonna see those 20 minutes as an opportunity to do prospecting. It might be something else. I don't know that much about the business. I know a little bit, but not that much to talk about it in detail. In my case, it would be to write scripts. Maybe to listen to a script before I record a video at night. So that way I'm in a loop, right? And I'm relearning all the stuff I talked about in that video, right? So something I do, for example, is that I record myself talking about different topics, and like my voice, like a voice memo. I record a voice memo of me talking about different topics, and especially the topic I want to talk about somewhere on that week, a day in that week, right? And what happens is that sometimes I don't have the time to be reading the script, or I'm at the bus or at the subway or whatever. And what I do is that I'm listening to that script that I made, to that voice memo I recorded of the script, in order to internalize it even more, to internalize that idea and that concept even more, so that when it's time to record, I have that idea clear, and I know exactly what I'm gonna say in that video. So you just gotta be creative, man. Just like in everything in life, to be productive, you also gotta be creative. Because sometimes maybe you don't have your laptop with you to do work and all that kind of stuff, but you can work around it, man. You can just write a script from your phone instead of your laptop. And sometimes you're only gonna have like 7 minutes maybe, because you're waiting for, I don't know, man. Someone's giving you a ride somewhere and you're waiting for him, and you only have like 10 minutes. You're gonna take out your phone and you're gonna start writing. Let's say you want to be a writer. That's exactly what you should be doing, because you can't be expecting to have all the time in the world if you're not putting time now. That's just logical, isn't it? Because in order to accomplish anything in life, and this is my opinion, but I wouldn't say it's an opinion, it's just a fact of life. And that is that you need to invest a lot of time into this thing. And the one that invests the biggest amount of time earlier is the one that is going to succeed earlier in that endeavor, or that discipline in life. And the reason why I think, at least, that you gotta be productive now that you are young is that in the future you're gonna have even less time, man. If you can make time now, imagine in the future when you have kids, if they are part of your plan, you have a wife, you have more responsibilities, you have to pay for a mortgage. You shouldn't buy a mortgage if you're young, but let's say that you do, just like average people in general, right? So you have a lot of responsibilities, man. You're not going to have as much time as you have now. So what makes you think that, oh, I'm going to have time in the future, then I'm going to do things? No, man. You got it backwards, man. You got to do all the stuff you possibly can now. And then in the future, you're going to figure it out. But what matters the most is right now. The book is called Some Days Today. That's where all of these ideas I got. All of the ideas I got for this video are from that book. Someday is today. Someday is today, man. Stop procrastinating, man. Stop thinking that you're gonna have the time in the future to get closer to your goals and all that shit, man. Because you're not gonna have it, probably. And bro, like the statistics are on my side. You just gotta find them. I didn't make a research for this video. Sorry for that. But like, if I had done one, uh, they would tell you the exact same thing I'm telling you right now. That you're not gonna have as much time as you have right now in the future, because you gotta put. And that's the reason why you gotta put the work now. And if you want to put the work now, you gotta find a window where you can just put that work, when you can work on that thing that you are aiming for. And that's where this idea comes in, making use of minutes. So the next time that you're waiting for something, you're waiting for a delivery to get to your house, your lunch or whatever, you're gonna work on that, because you were not gonna do anything anyway. That's why I'm such a big advocate of on this idea of not using social media. Because every time you are on your phone, imagine all the people in the world instead of using their phones or social media where they had like dead time, right? When you were just going to a doctor's appointment and you're sitting there, and instead of being on Instagram, you were working on something. You were working towards a goal, or reading a book, or doing something that it's actually gonna bring something to your life. Like imagine everyone has started doing that instead of being on their phones on social media waiting for that doctor appointment to come. The world will be a so much better place, man. And I'm not saying that you should be working 24/7 all of your life. And this is also a topic for a future video of it. If you're young, you probably should, man, especially if you have high ambitions. Especially if you have those huge goals that you have, man. Because if you have those huge goals and you refuse to be average, and you despise average, then you can't do the same things that average people are doing, man. You're gonna have to creatively find an alternative way to get to this goal. Because if you do what everyone else is doing, you're never gonna get there, man. That's just logical. If you are the same as everyone else right now, I I know for a fact that if you are just like everyone else right now, if you're average right now or below average, in the future you are gonna be average. I don't know what makes all of those people think differently, man. Like it really makes me mad, bro. Like for real, like they think that, oh, like I'm going to college, but one day I'm gonna be a millionaire, man. Shut the fuck up, man. You're not going to be a millionaire. You're doing exactly the same thing everyone else is doing, and something makes you think that you're gonna be special, that you're gonna be the one that accomplishes it. It's not gonna happen, man. The math doesn't work there. If you do the same thing everyone else is doing, you're gonna be exactly like everyone else in the future. And I know if you're watching this that you don't want that for yourself. So you better listen to me, man, and start making use of minutes if you say you don't have the time, just like everyone else. Because you have the time. It might not be that much, but you have the time. And time compounds, especially when you do this every day. Like it just compounds, man. It's like when you started meditating, for example. Like at first you weren't feeling the benefits of meditating. Things like being more aware of yourself in a good, healthy way, being aware of your feelings before they happen, and all those kind of things that meditation gives you, like more mindfulness and all that kind of stuff. You weren't feeling them, and you weren't living those benefits at first. But the more you meditated, even if it was just 5 minutes every day, the more you felt those benefits. And with time and with whatever goal you have in life, it works the same way. The more time you invest in it, the more this will compound, and the more you will be closer to your goal. So start making use of minutes and stop being a bitch and saying, oh, I don't have the time, man. You have the time. Make use of it now, man. Set the bar higher, man. We both know you can.